Friends and family, how you all doing? This is Lord Badu, and I want to welcome you to today's broadcast. Today, we are going to speak about something I believe that's important to many of us because, especially as the year has started, consistency is something that we all need to have. And today, I want to talk about 3 ways to be more consistent. 3 ways to become more consistent. And once again, consistency is crucial because in everything in this life, there must be consistency, or in order to succeed in this life, there must be consistency. And today is going to be a bit of a short broadcast, but I just want to get straight to the point so that you can get these points and use them, make them applicable to your life. The first thing to becoming more consistent is to start off with your why. There was a recent study actually that found that New Year's resolution die on an average at by January 19th. So, everybody makes some wild resolutions by January 1st, and that's when they start. And by 19 days, they say, "Hey, man, I'm out of here. This is too hard. This is too difficult. I'm never going to be able to accomplish all of this, and I don't want anything to do with this. I'm just going to do it when I feel like doing it." But when we have that attitude, we will never succeed in anything that we do. See, the first thing that you must do is to start off with a why. A why. Why are you doing what you are doing? Why is it so important to you? See, the reason most New Year's resolutions die by the 19th is because they put in their minds that I'm going to start the New Year's resolution on the new year, right? So maybe they've could have got an idea that, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds, but I'm waiting till January 1st. See, they're waiting for a day to start what they want to do. But when somebody has a why, and that why is so important, that why is so powerful, they start now. They don't wait till tomorrow to start. They don't wait till a few months to start what they want to do. They start now and they make it a priority to accomplish what they want to do. See, in order for you to become consistent, you have to start with a why. You have to start with a why. The why is crucial. See, the why makes you have urgency, right? So if somebody wants to get rich, why do you want to get rich? Do you want to get rich because, I see a bunch of rappers online and I want some change too. I want some nice cars and things like that. Or do you want to make money, or do you want to be rich so that you can get your family out of poverty, so that people in your family aren't struggling anymore, so that you can be a blessing to somebody else? What is the why? And is the why enough to drive you to do what you said you're going to do? The why is crucial. Now, for instance, I have a lot of young men that I'm mentoring when it comes to basketball or sports in general. Now, I asked them, what do you guys want to do? Or I want to go to the league. I want to go to, I want to play professional soccer, whatever. Now, the question is why? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to play pro so bad? What's going to take away from you if you don't play pro? Why are you so desperate? What's the purpose of you playing pro? Right? And some say, hey, I just want a way to feed my family. Okay. There are many ways to feed your family, but why specifically the NBA? Why specifically, the Premier League? Right? The why is the driving factor. And if you have a strong enough why that convicts you to the point where this is so important that I'll never give up, that's going to help you be consistent. That's going to help you push to the next level. That's going to help you keep going without looking back, because there's going to be times where you want to quit. There's going to be times where you want to give up. There's going to be times where you feel like, man, why am I doing all of this? But then you think about it. Why am I actually doing all of this? And the why is going to push you to not give up. The first thing that you have to have is a why in order to be consistent. Number two, you have to be ready to fail. As a matter of fact, you have to plan to fail. You have to plan to fail. This is what's going to help you become more consistent. Because when you plan to fail, you're going to realize, well, you're going to realize regardless that what you're trying to achieve is extremely difficult. Where you're trying to go is extremely difficult. And things may not always happen the way that I want them to happen. But even when they don't happen the way that I plan for it to happen, I'm still going to push, regardless of the situation. So you are planning and understanding that the process that you're going to take will not be easy. You may fail, you may fall a couple of times, but all you have to simply do is get back up. All you have to do is keep on moving. All you have to do is keep on pushing, right? You have to plan to fail. And when you plan to fail, planning to fail means simply that you are ready to take whatever comes. But that doesn't mean that you are going to stop. You are going to keep going. You are going to keep pushing. You are going to keep aspiring to do what you're doing or to reach your goal. You may fall flat on your face. That's okay. Get up and keep moving. It's all about taking a step, taking another step, taking another step, one day at a time, right? For someone who's trying to lose weight, hey, I'm planning to fail. There's going to be a time where you see a wicked donut that's just calling your name. See, I remember I was telling my brother during our fast, at our church fast, man, I don't dream like that. Like I'm not a dreamer. Like I don't dream about food, and I don't do that. But as I was fasting, I was dreaming about donuts. Donuts. I wanted to eat I was thinking about donuts, and I never dreamt before like that. Right? But luckily, I didn't eat no donuts. I really fasted. But yeah, I plan to fail, because if you're going for, you have a long goal. I want to drop 20 pounds. There may be a time where something happened and, you ended up eating a donut, or you ended up eating a cookie, or you ended up eating something that you shouldn't have eaten. Right? That, in a sense, you've slipped, or you've failed in a sense. But that doesn't mean that you stop. Okay, I made a mistake. Now I got to get up and I got to keep moving. I got to get up and I got to keep going. You don't stop. You don't stop. There is a big difference between being consistent and being perfect. Many of us think that we have to be perfect, but it's consistency that will get us to our goal. It's not about not doing anything for a specific amount of time to achieve your weight limit, but it's doing the little things every day consistently in order to attain your goal. Now, lastly, the third thing that I want to bring up is you have to just enjoy the process. The key to consistency: enjoy the process of going through whatever you're going through. Listen, so much of us are so obsessed with the goal that we forget that there's a process to get to the goal. So much of us are so possessed, or we're so obsessed with the end result that's so far away that we forget about the process to get to the end result. You must be willing to fall in love with the process. I remember my brother was asking me a question. He's like, "Man, you got to work out." I was telling him I'm trying to look a certain type of way. My muscles kind of getting big and stuff like that. So, told him I was trying to get some cut. He's like, "Man, you gotta go to the gym." I'm like, I hate going to the gym. He's like, you just you gotta fall in love with the process to get where you want to go, and that's the truth. If you don't fall in love with the process, you will never get to the goal. You have to be willing. You gotta be willing to go through the hard things every day. Get up, run, eat right. You gotta just enjoy the journey. And as you're going through the journey, you will always be reminded at the end goal when you get there that this is what I did, or this is what I went through to get here. Right. For those seeking to go to the NBA, I keep bringing up NBA. Well, for those seeking to go to the NBA, playing professional sports, just in general, there's a process to get there, and it's not gonna be easy. But you gotta love the grind. You gotta fall in love with the process in order to get to the end goal. And when you get there, you're gonna be like, man, I really worked my butt off. I really did what I had to do to get where I am today. And I thank God that He took me through this process, because through the journey and through the process, you've learned so much, right? If we're talking about reading the Bible in a year, if we're talking about paying off credit cards within a year, there's so much that you go through in that process of doing that. For instance, paying off your credit cards, you start budgeting. You start withdrawing gratification on certain things that you want to buy, but you can't buy. There's so much to learn in the process of getting to the goal. Like if you just received a big fat check and you were able to just pay off your debt, right? That'd be awesome. But you'd probably get back in the same situation again, because there was nothing that you were really learning throughout the process in order to how to manage, how to deal with certain things, how to pay off priority things first. Like you weren't learning those things. You just got a big check and you just paid it off. Right? Reading the Bible in a year. The consistency of reading chapter by chapter and seeing the stories, the parables, the things that you've never read before now are speaking to you because you've come across it. And these are words of life. These things may change you forever. See, there is a process to everything. And as people who are striving to be consistent, we must enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. Don't dismiss the journey. Don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss it. The journey's not bad. The journey's not bad. You actually learn a lot. This is what we ought to do in order to become more consistent. We must, number one, start with our why. Number two, plan to fail. And number three, fall in love with the journey or the process that we are in. And all I want to tell you guys is to continually grow in your consistency. It's the small things. The one thing I've learned throughout this fasting are, I fasted for 12 days, no food, no water. Or I can't say no water, no food. And throughout this fasting, the one thing I learned was it's the small things that matter. It's the small things and the consistency that matters. Waking up every day, reading your word, praying, getting in the cycle of doing that. It's the small things that make giants. It's the small things. It's like building a wall, right? You go brick by brick. But people see a big wall and I'm like, man, how did these guys build this? But they did it brick by brick. And this is how you become a giant in any way. You lay the bricks day by day until you get to where, or until you become what you want to be. This is all I have for you today. I'm praying and I'm hoping that all of us would grow in our consistency. Keep pushing, keep striving, don't stop, because God has greater things in store for you. But it's up to you to do what you have to do to get to where God wants you to be. God richly bless you. See you next time.